How can you identify if somebody's wicked? I mean, simply said, choose your friends carefully. Choose your friends carefully. Rashi said, even further, says if you want friends, buy a Sefer Torah. Meaning, buy a Sefer, learn Torah. That's your friends. The commentary. The Arizal, the Rambam, the Ben Ish Chai, those are your friends. Why? People, if they're alive, so generally speaking, the whole social need that people have to have friends, to be in a clique, to hang out on weekends, go on vacations, that stuff doesn't generally exist in the Torah world. Yes, you could have a friend, a chavruta, and so on, but you'll see many, many times that the tzaddikim, the people that are not even just the gdolados, just like people that are just trying to live a righteous life, they don't have the need, or desire, or even ability to have like a slew of friends like your average person has in the world, because their life is busy. Either they're working, or they're learning, or they're with their family. They're working, or they're learning with their family. There's just no time for this friends. Let's go out on the weekends type of thing. Yes, you have people that you're social with, maybe your next door neighbor, maybe your chavruta here and there, but there's not that much. So already, by living a Torah life, you limit your exposure to people to a certain extent. But even so, you're still going to be exposed to people. So you have to pick people carefully. First and foremost, you should only get close to people that are following a life of Torah and mitzvot. Don't think that you're going to be able to be friends with a bunch of secular people because you've been friends with them for 20, 30 years and still be religious, which is unfortunately one of the things that a lot of Baalei Tshuva do, and sometimes even religious people do, is that they have a bunch of friends that are secular under the foolishness that they think, no, I'm going to make them do Tshuva. I'm going to make them do Tshuva. No, they're all secular. Yeah, I'm just hanging out with them, so I'm going to influence them over time. Eventually what happens is that they influence you. You want to influence them? Bring them to a shiur. That's the influence. That's the only thing you can do. To go and hang out with them, go play basketball, go to games with them, all that stuff, live their life, it's never going to work, and eventually it's Yetzirah is winning. So you have to pick your friends carefully. You have to pick people, to have people around you that have a similar ideology to you. Now you can associate with people that have a different ideology in order to help them come closer to the Torah, but that's just associate with them, not befriend them, not hang out with them, not go have dinner with them, not celebrate with them. You can associate with people, but as far as to get people that are close to you, friends, that's people that have to fall into a certain definition, which means that they have to have a similar ideology to you. They have to have a common purpose. It has to be somebody that they don't necessarily need to agree with everything that you think. The Torah is full of machloket, full of debates, but the general direction of their life should be similar to yours. It cannot be he's Christian and you're Jewish. It cannot be. It cannot be that he's an atheist and you're an Orthodox Jew. It cannot be. Why? Because it's the opposite. It's the opposite. Like there was an article that somebody sent me, and I didn't read it, but it's the title of the article, "Look how beautiful. She is a secular woman and he's Hasidish. And they're happy together." All he is wearing a costume. That's all he is. All she is she doesn't feel like wearing a costume. She's more real than him. Why? She doesn't feel like watching mitzvot. He's pretending. Why? If you're religious, you cannot be with a secular woman. Why? If she's secular, she doesn't want to go to mikveh. She doesn't want to mikveh. You're not allowed to touch her. So what do? Can't do nothing. She's mechalel Shabbat. You can't eat her food. You can't be with her. You can't eat her food. What are you going to do with her? Play tennis? What are you going to do with her? You can't be married. So it's people live a delusional life. You have to have similar ideology. The ideology is key. If you have similar ideology, you can build huge spiritual and physical buildings together. If your ideologies are the opposite, or contradict each other, Hashem Yerachem, what kind of chorban you're going to make. Anybody can get married. You can get married to this chair if you want. But as far as a happy marriage, a successful marriage, that takes similar ideology. So as far as friends also, that's a form of marriage as well. To pick your friends, you have to decide, is this person worth to invest in? And you can tell pretty much who that person is, to at least to a certain extent, within 5 minutes. If within the first 5 minutes you're talking some chidush you found in the Torah, or something that you learned today, oh, Moshe Rabbeinu said this, oh, the rabbi said this, oh, said this, that's what you want to talk about, and his response is, do you really think the Phillies should hire this catcher next year? You think that this hockey player, you think Wayne Gretzky is the best hockey player, or do you think the guy from today is the best? Do you think this soccer player is the best kicker, or do you think, if that's what he talks about, that's what you talk about, obviously this is not common. This is a problem. There's a friction here. If all this is in his brain is soccer ball, and your brain is Torah, it's not gonna work. You can befriend him as far as be a associate of some kind, have a conversation, try to encourage him to change that soccer ball with the Sefer Torah, but to befriend him, you cannot be until he changes. Cannot be until he changes. Why? Because it's risky. It's risky to you. So you have to pick your friends carefully. If you pick your friends carefully, that means that you're going to weed out a lot of the wicked people. But you're never going to be able to weed out all of the wicked people. All of the wicked people exist. And Hashem will send them to you as a form of test, as a form of different things that you're going to have to endure in your life. You're going to do business? I can tell you I've done business with countless people in my life. I have yet to find one honest business person. One. I mean, I've done business with, thousands of people. Thousands. Business investments, business as vendors, bought stuff, sold stuff, all types of things. Any business, millions and millions of dollars in business. I cannot recommend a single person I can tell you, that guy's honest. Not one person. One I'm talking about. One, nothing. Sometimes, many of them were honest in the beginning, but then they show their real colors. Just when it comes to money, it's just genom. I'm telling you, it's garbage. And I'll finish with this, and then we'll go home. You guys get some rest. When a friend of mine, Talmid Chacham in Eretz Yisrael, sent me this. It's a fantastic example. He says that Rabbi Yisrael Misalant was constantly teaching, learning Torah, and so on. But he said one time something clever. He says, you see, anyone that's a rabbi, he said, they get constant questions from people. And they're going to ask him questions about Tarat Mishpacha. They're going to ask him questions about Shlom Bayit. They're going to ask him questions about ideology, philosophy, proofs, all types of questions. But when it comes to Choshen Mishpat, that section of the Shulchan Aruch, Choshen Mishpat is about business. He says, every rabbi will tell you, I rarely ever get questions about this. How come? How come? He says, people decide, when it comes to business, everybody wants to be their own dayan. Everybody wants to be their own judge. You don't want to ask the rabbi. Why? Because in reality, you know that the rabbi is going to tell you you're wrong 90% of the time. You're a thief. You're a thief. So that's the thing. If you stick to the Torah, you're not going to have too many problems as far as the friends part, because you're going to be very selective. But as far as enemies, as far as wicked people, unfortunately, it's always going to exist. You just, with the Torah, it's going to help you, react to it a different way than you do without the Torah.